Calm not really using them well. Actually getting all of his forces on the left side flank, so Calm just trying to put down more sunken columns, just what he's trying to do. Possibly, I think ForGG might not know that all the forces are going to be running up. Okay, never mind. He does know that all the forces are running right towards the natural expansion. Mutalisks and Hydras running down right up the ramp. There are only a couple of tanks and Goliath to defend. He's going to go with the Mutalisks and Hydras. All the Goliaths to take a long time to run right into ForGG's base. This is what I mean exactly about Calm's intelligent play. Just absolutely flanking, because he could tell from which direction and how ForGG was coming to his base. So he decided to completely flank him. Now going to take out tanks as they pop out, take a Goliath as they pop out. And Goliaths, of course, unless they're in a large number, aren't really that effective against Mutas and Hydras. Of course, all those guys are going to come up the ramp in small numbers, one at a time. Now it's all going to come down to whether Calm can actually hold his back. Goliaths and Mutas coming in, trying to engage his Hydras, and Calm, I don't really see if he has too many forces. ForGG taking out, cleaning these Hydras slowly but surely. And honestly, Calm just has not done. He did a very smart attack, but just has not done the damage. Does have weapons run for Hydralisks, and more are running north as we speak. But he does not have the force number. He simply does not have the forces. He's definitely less than the number of forces that ForGG has. ForGG had a much larger force before that attack, but Calm lost a lot of forces as well. And he really has to do some. I think he might be expanding at the 9 o'clock position. He might be taking a preemptive expansion there. But he really has to think about what he's doing. ForGG now being careful, scanning all over the place, trying to catch some forces off guard. Now going to catch quite a few Hydras before they really manage to do anything. Still Calm forcing himself to put down preemptive Sunkens that he's going to try to force those tanks to siege up against. Still flying with some Mutalisks around that have Carapace 1 upgrades. But fairly soon I find that Calm's just not going to be able to accomplish too much. Now going to find with Mutalisks right at ForGG's natural expansion. And not really much to defend. A couple of Goliaths there, but I think his Mutalisks are actually going to go in and going to start engaging these Goliaths. Possibly even take out the tanks just before they run out. So, yeah, Calm's going to be able to engage. There's a lot of tanks going to be picked off. SCV's also being picked off. So in that regard, he's really being just taking advantage of the fact that ForGG has a long, arduous resupply route that it's taking him a long, long time to move his forces back and forth, and that's exactly what he needs to do. Keep ForGG on his toes, make him forced to use his forces back and forth. And I think, honestly, what killed ForGG, might be killing ForGG here, is that he did not go for that initial attack. The one point that Calm had only 2 Sunkens up, was readying his 3rd and 4th, and ForGG had a huge number of Goliaths, like 2 control groups almost, and he did not go for it. He decided not to take a risk. And I think that because he didn't take a risk, I honestly felt he would have been able to completely crush that defensive line and take out everything that Calm had. But I think Calm might be slowly bringing himself back into this game. He's taking out so many SCVs with these Mutalisks. Goliaths finally in a large enough number to prevent him, but forcing ForGG to really just move all of his Goliaths back, losing Mutalisks. But there's definitely a sacrifice he'll take now. Again, going to go for the SCVs at the main. Just doing a beautiful job of harassing all over the place, just forcing ForGG back. ForGG going to be able to have to build so many SCVs again. These Mutalisks giving their lives and definitely their money's worth. Now ForGG finally moving downwards yet again. You can tell his Goliath number is much smaller this time. He has quite a few more tanks. Calm actually has forces up to the left, possibly thinking of going for a pincer. He's most likely going for a pincer, waiting for the timing for that. Has Mutalisks all over the place as well. One Mutalisk spotting for him is going to get taken down. Now really Calm, what he has to do, just has to wait. We're going to see, yeah, he is indeed expanding at the 9 o'clock position, and we're going to see what he actually tries to go for pincer or try to go for yet another attack at ForGG's main. Yet it is indeed moving most of his forces towards the north. He has a lot of Hydralisks alongside a few Mutalisks. Now going to go try to take out this large Mutalisk number. ForGG going to be forced yet again to move some of his forces north. I think these Goliaths here are most likely dead, but there will be more Goliaths coming in for ForGG. So Calm is going to be forced to move back, move even further north. Could have been a good opportunity for Calm to try to go for a pincer, or though I'm not quite sure. Now, actually forcing ForGG to float off his command center instead of ForGG's base, and Calm slowly building up a large number, building up even more Hydralisks, more Mutalisks. Now, actually, ForGG being forced to use some of his SCVs to engage, finally breaking down Calm's door, but Hydralisks all over the place, still attacking, killing SCVs, killing Goliaths. Calm doing a beautiful job, putting down even more Sunken Creep Colony Sons in his main, because, you know, just right now he's playing a beautiful delaying game, killing even more SCVs. Most likely finally going to lose his Hydras fairly soon, but still holding ForGG off the long time that he's trying to rebuild a large amount of forces. Mutalisk also flying into support. I don't think Goliath number is not nearly large enough to help defend against this end. ForGG is actually going to force to run his Goliaths back. Well, he only has his tanks, and this might actually be an opportunity that Calm is looking for. He's forcing those Goliaths, some of those Goliaths, to run back. Goliaths that Calm most likely needs, and Calm actually going to sacrifice his natural expansion just to force ForGG to move some of his forces back north and it forced ForGG not to take out what is the main amount of his force. Actually, Calm was putting down second colonies inside of his main, just so he can do this then. Most likely going to be forced to rebuild his Hydra's den inside of his main or at his new 9 o'clock base. But I think ForGG has no idea that his new base is up. And of course, ForGG also putting down a base that's a 12 o'clock position. At this point, ForGG, I can't really tell who's going for what, although Calm seems to be a little bit more control of the game. Just wherever Calm is where ForGG has to be. ForGG still has a large number of Goliath, yet again rebuilt. Has 3 mining base, I think is reestablished in natural yet again. Now going to be pushing up his Calm's ramp with tanks. Calm just putting down second colonies. I'm still surprised, really, that ForGG's playing so carefully. Really finally now broken through those Sunkens. There are some Hydras waiting from there alongside Mutalisks, but more Sunkens on the way. And I think just Calm's completely taking advantage, taking so many SCVs out. I'm not even sure if ForGG has any SCVs left at this point. Most of his SCVs are being completely killed, so whatever ForGG has on the ground is what he has to use. Actually now going to be forced back. Calm actually moving down his own ramp, going to start by attacking these tanks on the ground. Not enough Mutalisks to defend, and actually all of this going to go down. Should be more tanks in place, but I think ForGG actually forced a lot of his forces back, and Calm has played a beautiful game, an absolutely beautiful game. Has completely outsmarted ForGG. ForGG had such a huge advantage early on, but now I think that advantage has turned into absolute horror for him. He's lost so many SCVs. He's lost so much economy. He hasn't lost anything at that new 12 o'clock base, but I honestly don't think he's going to be able to keep up production. Calm sacrificed his entire natural expansion just to get himself where he is now, and actually going to take on this huge Goliath army. Not going to take it down because it just runs out of the Hydralisks before it can do that. But you can tell by the look on ForGG's face, he's really worried. His economy is really in a lot of trouble. Calm looking absolutely focused. Calm. Well, whoever gave him that nickname, whether it was himself or somebody else, they sure knew what they were talking about. Yeah, you can tell the only 2 SCVs mining, the natural only 2 SCVs mining. There are a decent amount of SCVs mining at the 12 o'clock. If Calm spots that, he's going to be able to run with, losing a large number of Mutalisks. Not going to be forced to engage the Goliaths with his Hydras. We're going to see what actually managed to take him out. Actually does take a lot of these Goliaths out. ForGG trying to micro them, but most likely going to lose all of these Goliaths. 1 Goliath left now. More Goliaths just running into support against these Hydras, and his Hydras actually going to be forced back. But I think if more Mutalisks are produced by Calm, if he does manage to find the 12 o'clock position, he's going to be able to take it down and do a lot of damage. Also has now taken for himself a new base at the lower left-hand corner. He's probably not going to take his natural expansion yet again. Probably just going to hold his ramp at this point. Actually now moving towards ForGG's base with Hydras. ForGG yet again floating away his command center. Several SCVs are going to be death to those Hydras. Hydras now moving up the ramp. SCVs trying to blockade, and Goliath trying to engage, but you can just look at ForGG's number of force. He has almost nothing at the ground at this point, and I think Calm just here is going to win this game, and I think ForGG at this point has already lost. Nothing really. GG coming in from ForGG, and that's it. Wow. Calm playing an absolutely wonderful, intelligent game. This kid has some intelligence. I love, seriously, Calm. He's not a player that wows you with like immense micro or stuff like that with just macro from hell. He just plays an insanely intelligent game. He doesn't cheese you. He just absolutely outsmarts you. ForGG, despite having a huge advantage, and he knows it. He definitely knew it. Just going, I can't believe I lost that. Yeah, just losing that game. I still think that he should have pushed in much earlier on. He had a chance to break down let's say 2.5 sunken line with 2 ready sunkens, 2 more on the way, but I honestly think he would have been able to break that with the amount of Goliaths he had. And there wasn't really much else at the time for Calm except for a small Muta number that was slowly getting smaller. And basically, against Calm, the longer ForGG kept playing that game, the longer he kept Calm in the game, the better the opportunity became for Calm to do what he did. So ForGG getting completely outsmarted, just proving to himself that he just is not the player he used to be. He's the type of player that researches for games, really gets his build ready. You could tell that he had his build ready, but Calm reacting with just absolute precision, intelligence, and just completely crushed ForGG there at the end, just killing his economy absolutely. So that's going to be the first first sets of the round of 16, and more is going to be continued very soon. So sorry if I get some of these sets out a little bit late. I got work and a life that sometimes is not StarCraft. I apologize about that. I have a life despite the fact that my girlfriend's away abroad until friggin' fall. Spring, man, that would be bad. Until spring, so until fall. Until September. I'm faking it. Seriously, guys. Yeah, so more Avalon MSL fairly soon. I might even commentate a game or two from the upcoming Heritage competition, where a lot of the old StarCraft players come and play. Boxer, Nada, I Love Uvi, Savior, Nalra's going to be there, Yellow, and I mean NC Yellow, so it's going to be pretty great. I'm probably going to commentate a game or two from there. So all in all, look forward to more commentators from you soon. GG guys, wrenching out. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed.